Hi guys, welcome back. Today we've got the Fallkniven Thor, which is the largest in the series of the Northern Lights. I believe there's 5 versions. Pretty much the same knife, same style, but just 5 different lengths, sizes. Okay, so let's get to it. Alright, so let's start with the blade. Okay. This blade is approximately 10 inches long, or 254 mil. It is around about 7 mil thick, so quite a thick thickness to it. It's VG10 steel, high carbon, with a layer of NG, or what was it? N40J or something like that, stainless steel, low carbon stainless steel. It's laminated, so you'll probably see the lamination line just along the edge there. It's got some oil on it. You might be able to make out the lamination line just there. Yeah, and also on the spine. Not sure if you can make it out, but there's just a line going through the center. Now the handguard is about 1/4 inch stainless steel. Handle is a leather stacked oxhide with yellow and white spaces there. Butt cap is aluminium grade. I think it's aircraft grade aluminium with a screw-on butt cap there. It is a full tang, but it's more of a the tang will run straight through the handle here, and just here there's a thread that's welded on, which that butt cap screws on. So it's not a full running tang. It is, but to here you're going to have a the end of a bolt, and that butt cap will be screwed on. That's welded in there. So if there's going to be a weakness, it's going to be here. I don't see the blade breaking or anything like that. It's quite a large blade, but in the hand it actually feels very light. I was surprised when I got it, because I thought, oh, it's going to be a hefty blade, but really it's not as heavy as I thought. You definitely got size, but it's balanced well. Obviously it's blade heavy, but you don't feel like you have a machete or something in your hand. You still feel like you're holding a knife, so that's pretty good. Edge is held up well. I've done some chopping, just some little things, and it seems to hold up pretty well. That's the logo there. Fallkniven's got some Viking helmets there. Like I said, it's got some oil on it, but now the point does taper down to a rather thin point. I don't know if you can see it there, but it is quite thin. So I wouldn't be doing any kind of prying or anything like that. It's a very needle. It's like you could dig a splinter out with that point. That's how pointy it is. But good penetrating tip if you're skinning. You know, you want to come up. Got the middle. It's got a good point for that. Other than that, it's a good knife. The stainless steel on the outside. Just forgive me. I forget what it was. It was N240J or something like that. Sorry, I can't remember, but this stainless steel actually holds up very well. I've stuck it back in the sheath after, you know, doing oranges and a lot of citrus stuff, and it's not marked at all on the blade, so I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, so that's pretty much the knife itself. It's not too bad. Now we'll just move on to the sheath. The sheath is not too bad. It's pretty thick. You can see there, quite a thick sheath. Okay, that's the underside, double stitched on the underside and on the top side. The back has these snaps, so you'll open it up, you can slide it onto your belt, and then snap it back on, saves you taking your belt off. Not a bad sheath, thickness wise, just quality, overall quality is not too bad. I couldn't say for sure what kind of leather it is, but it feels like a medium grade leather. It's not Herman oak or anything like that, but it's yeah, it'll do the job. You got a snap. You also have a secondary snap, so that when you open it, you can clip that retaining strap out of the way, which is a good idea. But in saying that, when you have the knife and it's in, like so, you got the retaining strap. Now, when you go to reach down to pull that knife out, you have to, the clip, instead of it being on this side, it's on this side. So you have to clip it there. Now, when you withdraw the knife, if you don't clip it in there, you've got a high chance of slicing your retaining strap. And even if you do clip it over to the side, you still have the problem of that handguard gets caught in that recess. Okay, which is, could be a secondary, retaining function, which is not too bad, but you will have to get your finger, push down, and then slide that guard over. Then you won't hit the strap. I don't know why they just didn't make the strap go from here to there, pretty much the opposite. Not only is it easier when you reach down, your finger just naturally wants to be here and then release. So I don't know why they could have done without all this if they just would have put the retaining strap coming over this way, which is, a little bit more common sense. But anyway, they did put a secondary snap in there, which is, at least they thought about it, which is good. But yeah, it holds steady in that sheath. It isn't going anywhere. But yeah, that's the sheath. Not too bad, but it is quite a big a blade to carry, lengthways and widthways. I mean, I'll see if I can just put it on my belt for you, so you can just have a look here at what I'm talking about. If my camera will stay still. Okay, so from here, you'll unsnap it, feed it through the belt, and you'll get the snaps. Snap 1, snap 2, and there. It's not too bad. It is quite a length though, but you can still kneel down, relative comfort, and it's just here. It's not too bad. As far as large knife carry goes, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It can stay out of the way. Put your shirt over it. Not too bad. As I was saying with the clip, so your hand naturally kind of wants to come down and pull here to release and come up, but it's on this side, so you have to go on this side here, up, clip, push with your finger and pull out. So a little bit of an effort. I mean, if you had to deploy this in a hurry, I have no doubt that you're going to slice that retaining strap off, no problem. So if you had to deploy quickly, snap, boom, you don't pull, you don't slice that strap off 100% if you're in a hurry. Removal is just the opposite. There. So not too bad. I'll grab a stick, something to slice with, and we'll go through a bit of a chopping, bit of notch making. And no, I'm not going to baton with this knife, because to get this knife in Australia you're looking around about $900 to $1,000. So it's that's not exactly on the cheap side. However, I do recommend it. It is a very nice knife. I would only probably recommend this knife to experienced knife handlers. Especially if you're used to handling large knives, machetes, things like that. I wouldn't, recommend this to a first-time knife user or handler, because large knives they take a little bit of just working out a little bit more time in the hand, because there is quite a lot more blade there to make mistakes with. So not too bad. Alright, I'll grab a stick, I'll be back. Okay, so we'll just make a point. Not too bad. As for batoning, I mean, it's a flat grind with a very steep convex edge. It's 7mm thick, so it doesn't take a genius to realize that it'll be a good chopper. There's no, and the length of it, almost 10 inches or approximately 10 inches. So it's going to be a chopper, so there's no point batoning. We'll go through some. Now you can choke up, there is no finger choil, okay? My finger will not, no way in hell fit there. So it's, yeah, you've just got to manipulate it how I can. That's where the experience comes in. If I'm going to do a chest pull, I'll put this finger over the back spine and I'll wrap it like this. That'll give me the leverage I need to do it this way. I wanted to do chest pulls. That's fine. Straight. Chopping. So, it does its job. Holds its edge. No chipping. No major damage there. All fairly good. As you would hope to expect. Also a bit of notching. Now I just right up on the finger guard, right in close to about here, and I'll just push with the thumb. Push with the thumb. And I might just cut straight and push with the thumb. And there's your notch. You can go as deep as you want. So yeah, you can do a lot of the things small knives do with large knives. You've just got to work out how to get around it. This knife's a little bit different to the, say, the Cold Steel Trailmaster. Okay, you can see the difference there. Quite a bit of difference. Thickness ways. Thickness, I think the Trailmaster is a little bit thicker. Lengthways, you'd give it to the Fallkniven, but the Trailmaster's gone through some modifications. I've trimmed the finger guard off so I can get that thumb over, make it a little bit easier to do things like this, the notching, and I've also added a little finger choil, so I've extended with the blade in it here. I took it out just a little bit more, just enough for my finger to get through. Now I can choke up on that blade, right to the blade, and I can get done whatever it is I want to get done. That's about it. That's about all the mods I've done to the Trailmaster. This is the 01 version, by the way. Polished edge, convex. So that's done really well. I'm happy with the 01. Glad I went 01, not their other stuff. So that's it. I'm gonna go through some cutting up of a chicken, just to simulate, you know, small game, like if you got a rabbit or something like that, and you just wanted to know how it'll operate. I'm gonna do that next. So stay tuned. Thanks, guys. Okay, so here we go, guys. We're going to do some cutting up of this chicken using the Fallkniven Thor. Okay, so just to give you an idea of just how well it cuts, doing a chicken would be very similar to doing any other small prey animal, like a rabbit or anything else. So it slices quite good. Because the blade tapers down to such a smaller edge than what it does up here, when you use, say, the last 3.5 inches of the blade, it's very easy to get into places, and all you really have to do is just touch it with that edge, and it just cuts through. Whatever, like every other element, you just pop the joint and cut through the joint, and it'll slice right through. And I'm really only using, like I said, probably the last 4 inches of the blade where it tapers down on the end. You can choke up on the blade. There's no choil for your finger. Your finger will not fit in there, so basically I just hold it up here, rest my hand against the finger against the guard, and the other two on the blade. And I find I can choke up pretty good on the blade. You could, if you wanted to, hold on, but if it does get a little bit slippery, like the chicken's fine, but if you have blood, it will be a little bit probably too slippery. So just keep going here. Pop it, slice through the tendon. You can hear the blades just touching on the capsules of the joint. So the blade will run into some kind of resistance there, although it's not hitting bone, but it's a good test for the blade itself. As you can see, just put a little bit of weight on it, and it slices right through. Again, you just have to touch. You can see how that just breaks away. Like if that was a larger game animal, deer or whatever you're after, you can see how that's just going to go straight through. I want to actually take this leg off, so I'll find the divot between the joint, place the blade, straight through. So, good test for the edge. Again, I'll just see if I can get this so the camera can get it. Just slice straight through. That's it. You hear the joint pop. Straight through. No effort whatsoever. Funny thing about this handle is the wetter it gets, like with animal blood or just fat or whatever, I don't know, your hand starts to stick. But when it's dry, straight out of the sheath, it's slippery, but as soon as you get something on your hand, it actually becomes more grippier. So again, you can see just here, you can see how the weight of it just falls apart. Which when you're processing larger game, which is that's exactly what you want. You want it to do the work for you. Cut through the joint. Straight through the joint. Okay. Again, you can see here, very little effort. Straight through the bone. Straight through the joint, I should say, not the bone. So the breast, a bit meatier, a bit thicker, but again, probably the last 4 inches of that blade, you can choke up a bit. Find that breastbone. You can see that, how deep that just went. No effort whatsoever. And if you just peel that, you can shave that breast away, which is exactly what you would do if you were processing for meat. There, whole breast. Not much meat left on, pretty much just bone left. Same on the other side, find the breastbone, straight down. That was pretty much just the last inch of the blade there, and that's how deep the cut went. Like, granted, there's no fur on it to cut through, but still, even if there was, there wouldn't be a whole lot of effort. So again, it's just shaving away from the bone. Exactly what you do if you're processing something larger. So that's it basically. I mean, you can go through, but this isn't a tutorial about how to do a chicken. This is just an example of the knife. I'll pause it there, get it cleaned up, and I'll come back. Okay guys, we're back from doing the chicken. Alright, as you can see, the stainless steel holds up very well, as you would expect. No staining or anything like that. Cleans up pretty nice. Just run a bit of water on it, wipe it off, and it basically comes, any gunk will come straight off. So after hitting like the capsules, the joint capsule, and maybe a little bit of bone here and there, the edge is pretty good. There's no chipping at all. It'd still be pretty sharp. So it's still pretty sharp there. You can see, still slicing paper. So still pretty sharp. I don't think that's dulled the edge whatsoever actually. The VG10 steel holds up really well. Pretty happy with that. But that just gives you an idea anyway of what it can do and how it functions with your processing game. There's plenty of videos on chopping and stuff, but I just wanted to do something different just to give you an idea of how it functions. And that's about it. In my opinion, it does really well. Really well.